Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I wanted to walk you through a list of ideas for gifts for this holiday season. I'm going to keep it super short, I'm going to keep it super to the point, I'm going to tell you about all these things, I'm going to break them up between stocking stuffers, $0 to $50, 50 to 100, and 100 plus. So super simple, super easy to navigate. I'm gonna set chapters in this video so that you can skip around if you want to. But again, all this stuff is literally stuff that I own and have owned for quite some time and I really, really like. So these are my ideas. If someone asks me, hey, you're a camping guy, you're an overlanding guy, what would you recommend in this price category for my friend, family member, whatever, that is into overlanding or camping? So those links will all be in the description down below to make it finding those things as easy as possible. So if you want to learn more about what my recommendations are for 2023, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you gave to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys, so as I mentioned in the intro, today I'm talking about my recommendations for holiday gift ideas for 2023. I wanted to keep this super short and just useful, right? So if you have a family member or a significant other that's really into camping and you're like, I don't know what to get them, I don't have any ideas. You know, there are a lot of videos that get put out there that are like, here's a bunch of random stuff. Again, in this video, this is all stuff that I swear by, that I use, that I really, really like. And so again, I would recommend it for anybody. So let's start off with the beginning section here, which is stocking stuffers. So these are gonna be things that are like 15 bucks or less, somewhere in that ballpark. Things that could be small and stuffed into a stocking, right? Hence stocking stuffers, I guess that makes sense. But let's get into those things. So first of all, you know, in the description down below will be a link to my website. I have got stickers and patches for overlanding, related to overlanding, funny ones, all things overlanding, patches and stickers, that sort of thing. They're all very inexpensive. Stickers are like $5 and patches are like 12 bucks, no fees, no shipping, just free shipping, all that stuff. So if you're looking for something like that, that would be a good place to start. No bias. But so there will be a link to my store down below for patches and stickers. Those would be a great idea for people for the holidays. And if you use code ATO20, you get 20% off through December 15th. So make sure that you use that soon because that goes away on the 15th of December. All right, so next, freeze-dried meals. Things like these, right? These are Mountain Houses. Peak are some of my favorite. They're a little bit more expensive. Peak is the brand. Peak Refuel, I believe they're called. But they're, anything like this are just, they're great because they last forever. You can throw them in a drawer, you boil some water, pour it in, let it sit for a few minutes, and then you've got a pretty delicious meal with almost no effort. I'm kind of a lazy camper, so personally, for me, that works really well. And they're pretty tasty and they're easy to make. Another recommendation for stocking stuffers is something like my Molaire headlamp. Now, again, I'm going to put links in the description down below to all these things I'm mentioning. And also, in almost all of these cases, I've also done a review video or some sort of video showing the features and stuff of them. So I will put a link to that down below, or I'll put it up here as a card so that you can go check that out. If you want to learn more about that specific product and kind of see it in action, check out those video links as well. All right, so next, I'm gonna put a link in the description to Becker Supply Company. These guys are fantastic, a super sweet family. They're based in Indiana, where I'm from, and they make amazing designs for overlanding and camping type shirts. They have stickers, they have patches, they have all kinds of stuff. So like, they're just like a small mom and pop shop that makes these amazing shirts. They're super high quality. I love the designs on them. So if you're looking for something that's different, right? If you're looking for something that you can't just get anywhere, check out their website down below and go check them out because they've got great stuff and they're great people. All right, so that will wrap it up for stocking stuffers. Again, I'm gonna kind of keep this tight. I'm gonna just do about 3 for each section so that you get some quick hits on what the best recommendations are, and then you can get back to your family, right? So now let's talk about items that are $0 to $50. So the sort of reasonable range, right? For like a brother or sister, that's about what I spent on my brother. So somewhere in that range that's like a less expensive type of gift. So the first thing that I would recommend is a rooftop tent ladder bag. So a lot of rooftop tents do not come with this thing, and it has been a game changer for me because I was throwing my dirty ladder up into my tent, had dirt everywhere in the tent, or I was storing it in the bed of my truck, and I hated it. It was terrible. It's just such a stupid little thing that like people should include with the rooftop tents, but when you're buying these rooftop tents off Amazon or someone like that, they're not going to include that stuff, right? It's an extra cost. So there is a rooftop tent ladder bag that works for most of them, and I bought one and it has been amazing since I got it. I can throw my muddy ladder in there and I don't have to worry about the inside of my tent getting all dirty. It's also really inexpensive. It folds up really small so you can box it up and it doesn't take up much room, so it makes a good gift. Another one that is a little guy, but I still think is really cool, and I know I've talked about this before, but these little tiny pill bottles. And you may ask, well, why do you need pills for? Are you doing drugs? No, I'm not. But I have ibuprofen that I take with me if I wake up with a headache. If you get an upset stomach and you want some Tums, you can bring that stuff. Dayquil, NyQuil, all kinds of things. But this has multiple sections in it, multiple little dividers. It folds up super small. I mean, you can see it's about the size of my palm here. So I keep one in my center console. I usually keep one in my backpack. My wife keeps one in her purse. So we've got a million of these things floating around. And it's just nice to have, you know, pretty much everything you need from a medicine standpoint in one little teeny tiny package. And they're like 4 for $12 or something. They're very inexpensive. So they make great stocking stuffers / inexpensive gifts. Then next, some sort of stackable storage. I personally have rigid boxes. It doesn't look like they're available online anymore. You kind of have to go to like a Home Depot or something to buy them. So you may need to do that if you want one. However, Craftsman makes a really similar one. They're called the Craftsman Trade Stack boxes. Again, I'll put a link in the description down below to these things, but they stack up, they click together, they're amazing. It's the same idea as the rigid boxes I use. And they're just a great idea for like kitchen gear or just any sort of miscellaneous stuff, first aid, that sort of thing. If you need some stackable storage to basically organize your stuff, these would be a good fit. And they're about $40. All right, so next let's dive into the $51 to $100 range. I've got two things here from Gerber, and there's a reason for that. So I recently upgraded my axe. I had a Fisker's axe, and I upgraded to a Gerber bushcraft axe, and this thing is awesome. And the reason why I say that is it's under $100. It is made of polymer, so it's got a good durable finish on it. It's also got a black coating on the head, so you don't have to worry about rust like I did with my Fiskars, which is why I had to replace it. But it's also got a really nice wedge style head to it. So it's a really good combination between an axe and a maul, which for me, most of what I use an axe for is clearing a tree that's in the way if I don't have my chainsaw with me for some reason or it runs out of batteries. Or most of the time I'm using it to split wood at camp. And with the old Fiskars, it was a super sharp axe. It was amazing for chopping through stuff, but it wasn't so good at splitting. It would just hit the top of a log and it would just get stuck immediately because it doesn't have a wide enough head. It was a really narrow head. With the Gerber though, it has a really nice sort of triangular tilt to it. And when you hit a piece of wood, man, it splits that thing right open and it's been great. So, and for under $100, you know, guys love axes. Like it can't be a bad gift, right? If you get an axe, it's a pretty cool gift. The second thing from Gerber is a perfect example of a good gift. So again, if you're looking for husband, wife, someone that is into outdoors, into camping, maybe hasn't figured out their kitchen kit yet, or wants to streamline and sort of shrink their kitchen setup, they have this thing called the All-Around Camp Kit. And again, I'll put a link in the description down below to this. It's right around $100, but it comes with all these different components. It comes with like a multi-tool. It comes with a little tiny cleaver knife that you can use to chop up meat and stuff like that. Separate it from your main, maybe daily carry sort of EDC knife so you don't get meat and juices and stuff on it, but this could be dedicated to cooking. And then it comes with like a multiple piece sort of like spork set. And it's really, really nice. So good quality stuff. All of that Gerber stuff also comes with a lifetime warranty, which I really liked. So just some nice ways to sort of, without spending a ton of money, get some really nice gifts for someone that's into this sort of hobby. And then the third thing that I'm going to mention in the $50 to $100 category is the Campfire Defender fire pit. This thing is an up off the ground, ventilated fire pit that's reusable. It folds down super small, about the size of a folding chair or even a little smaller. And it's just amazing. It's basically just like a stand with a vented metal bottom to it. And then you can build your fire right on top of it. The air gets up underneath of it. It burns cleaner. It's less smoky. And it's just awesome. So definitely recommend that if you're looking for a gift for someone that likes to go camping. All right, so now getting into the $100 and up. This is going to have kind of a wide range here, but there's several recommendations that I've got here, in some in the lower range and some in the higher range. So let's get into those. All All right, first of all, I'm definitely going to be talking about my Ryobi chainsaw. I love this thing. It's absolutely amazing. It is a little bit on the pricier side. The batteries are fairly expensive and the charger's fairly expensive, but you can get the chainsaw with a nice waterproof plastic case. It comes with tools and stuff like that so you can tighten the chain and do maintenance and stuff that you need to. And the box is actually really, really nice. But it's about a few $100. And the battery and the charger are about another $150, somewhere in that ballpark. But again, this chainsaw, I've had 4 chainsaws in my life. And this is the one I'm keeping. Like, I got rid of a gas one. I got rid of 2 other electric ones. This thing cuts through wood. It's super great for down trees. It will get huge stuff out of the way. It has an 18-inch bar, and it's just a fantastic chainsaw. It's just so good. And it's electric. I bought 2 batteries for mine personally and 1 charger, and then I've got the box and the chainsaw. So I did spend a little bit, but I mean, really when I add up the money that I spent on all the other crappy chainsaws that I had problems with, if they didn't cut nearly as well as this one, I spent as much on those chainsaws as I ended up spending on the Ryobi anyway. So this is kind of a buy once, cry once thing. But if you want to have the best electric chainsaw out there, in my opinion, for like cutting through trees, slicing up stuff at camp, processing firewood, I think the Ryobi 18-inch is a really solid entry into that for the price point. All right, so next, the Jetboil Genesis Base Camp. This thing is amazing. If you are into camping or overlanding, you've probably heard of the Jetboil Genesis. It is just a fantastic little stove. Super small footprint, folds up so it can fold in half, and then it folds out and you have 2 burners. Amazing control on it versus a lot of these, cheaper stoves. It does have some amazing controls, so it makes cooking way more satisfying and way easier to get those temps right. Folds down into a small little bag. The reason I mentioned the Base Camp Edition is it also comes with a 10-inch fry pan, and it comes with a 5-liter pot. So you get some other stuff in a nice carrying bag and the regulator and all that stuff, and it folds down into a super small footprint thing that's basically a full kitchen. So it's really nice. And then last but not least, and this one may be a little controversial, and if you guys think so, post up in the comments down below and let me know your thoughts, but I'm going to recommend the Garmin Overlander. I think they call it the Garmin Tread now, but I have the Garmin Overlander. I've had it for like a year and a half. And let me tell you why I'm recommending it. So it is on the pricey side. It's about $650, $700, somewhere in that ballpark. They do go on sale sometimes, so keep your eye on that, and you may be able to save a few bucks if they go on sale. But I predominantly have used my phone. I've used Google Maps, I've used Gaia. I haven't really used Onyx, but I've used those other 2, and they're fine, and they work great. And for on-road stuff, they're fantastic. If you have cell phone reception, they're fantastic. But there have been multiple times, like on my Wyoming trip, and more recently, maybe a month ago, when I went up to Wisconsin, and one time I was down in southern Indiana and I had no reception. The Garmin works no matter what, whether you have cell signal or not. It all relies on the satellites. So, I've had multiple times where I'm out in the middle of nowhere and my cell phone has no reception, even with the WeBoost, and I just can't connect. And then you can't search for new spots. It won't let you. Right now, if you've downloaded the maps, there are some workarounds for that, but it's kind of a pain, especially if you're in a new area and exploring someplace or you didn't intend to be in some place and you end up there. With the Garmin, though, it's just so nice that it just always works. It also has a lot of really nice features, like the ability to record your tracks, which I used all through Wyoming. So I basically have like a complete recording of everywhere that we went for 2 weeks through Wyoming. So if I ever want to go back there and go to the same spot again or check out a new area, I've got all my tracks. I've got all the data on elevation. I've got all the data on speed, average speed, time spent stopped, that sort of thing. It's also got other apps. And if you've got a Garmin InReach, then you can actually use that to text instead of that tiny little screen on the Garmin InReach. So they sync together. So especially if you're in the Garmin infrastructure, then it makes a ton of sense. And I actually really, really like it. Now, do I use it every single time? No, but if you do go out a lot, if you like to explore and get into new areas, then this may be a good option for you because it's going to work no matter where you are, and it's going to allow you to drop pins more easily. The fact that it also has a magnetic sort of attachment point in the truck, it works really well even off-road. I've never had it come off, but you can just grab it. So like when I would get to camp at night, I would grab that thing, put my coordinates in, drop a pin, put a note about where we were, that kind of thing, slap it back up on the magnet mount. When I turn the truck on the next day, it's charging. So it's just a great all-around device. If you're looking for something that's standalone and that you can just use for adventures and like saving points, saving waypoints, and that sort of thing, it's a great little unit for the money. All right, but so that will do it for the 2023 holiday gift idea recommendations. Like I mentioned, I just wanted to keep it really short and sweet and get it out earlier this year so that you guys could, check it out. And then hopefully the recommendations are helpful, and the links in the description down below will help you find this stuff super easy. Of course, post up your thoughts. If you thought I missed something, post up in the comments down below. If you have questions about anything, post up. If you just want to say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, that's fine too. Post up in the comments down below. Also in the description below, besides just the links to all the products that I mentioned, will be all the links to my social channels. So if you're not already subscribed, if you're not hanging out on those other channels, but you want to, definitely check those out. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'm all over the place. So wherever you want to be, I'm there. Also in the description below will be that link to my website with the patches and stickers. So again, if that's something that you want for stocking stuffers, they make great stocking stuffers and they're funny and they're unique. I designed them all myself, so like you're not just gonna go out there and find them. They're pretty cool and unique, I think. There are also links to my Patreon page where we've got a 24/7 Discord. We chat all the time about our rigs and stuff. We're planning a trip, I think, for next spring for the Patreon group, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out. And then there's the Newbie Overlanders group, free to join on Facebook. Tons of awesome members. If you're looking for a place to learn more about overlanding, that is a great place to go. But again, thanks so much for watching. Hope that was helpful for you guys, and I hope you have a happy holiday.